Now, Michael and Virginia, I have to set up this this next story because I'm going to just show you a section of the story we're working on for Contact Sport, the sport program on ABC News 24. And Steve Hooker is, of course, the champion pole vaulter. He's the world champion, but he didn't compete in the Australian Championships recently because of injury. And the Australian Championship was won by a guy called Joel Pocklington. Many more people outside the sport would know him because he posts a lot of things on YouTube, basically him doing dangerous stuff. He's a real acrobat, and we've knocked up a profile, and I just wanted to show you a small part of that story now. Here's Joel Pocklington and some of his style.
We're on a mission.
Yeah. As we've sort of progressed through what we do, some of it starts to get a bit more dangerous. So you really do have to prepare and be confident in knowing what you can do and being able to say no to things. The gymnastic side of pole vault is probably the easiest thing that I find. But we do push ourselves, you know, running training's often pretty hard during the winter months.
Come on, just jump.
There's a lot of different factors that can influence how you jump. So you got to balance your run-up speed, how far out your run-up is, where you're taking off from, what the stands are like, and what the pole's doing.
He's incredibly skilled at pole vault. He's as skilled as just about anybody in the world in terms of what he does and what he can get out of his body. Incredible aerial awareness. It's just part of the makeup of the pole vaulter, being able to be risk-taking, but you've just got to be calculated and sensible and try to not hurt yourself.
An interesting character who plays classical piano as well. So
really?
he's a really interesting guy, and worth having a look at that profile when we put it on there.
Should add the obvious warning to the children watching: don't try that at home.
No.
Yeah, if you haven't worked it out, don't go and jump off a cliff into deep water. I'm sure he would have tested the depths of that water. But
I heard that before.
And the height of the flame as he was somersaulting over it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it's an interesting story. He's also interesting because he's apparently too short and just doesn't have the physical capabilities to be the world's best, despite him having the best, one of the best skill sets at jumping over the bar. He might have an obstacle there. He can only get so good, I guess.
Because of a lack of height, I wouldn't have thought that, because I thought if you were diminutive, then you'd actually be able to sort of press yourself up a lot higher and maybe fly a bit higher than others.
Yeah, I'm not sure how he stacks up in height compared to the others, but yeah, he'll keep practicing, and well, he's the Australian champion, so it's not that he's not that good.
I love that a classical pianist needs an outlet. And jumping off a cliff is clearly that good outlet after days and days of doing your scales.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
There's always cliff diving if the whole pole vault thing doesn't come off.
And that's not planking, right?
No, but that's more active than planking.
On that note, thank you.
I guess.